company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News, Belize defense soldier fatally shot in tragic incident. An investigation is underway. Tragic incident in U Creek. Police investigate possible suicide of Guatemalan laborer found with chainsaw injuries. Donald Trump, sworn in as 47th president, unveils ambitious agenda and plans for mass deportation. What does it mean for Belize? And newly renovated Corozal Civic Center is inaugurated. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, January 28, 2025.
Keeping our beautiful town of Orange Walk clean is everyone's responsibility. Use sturdy bags, tie them securely, and avoid placing sharp objects inside. By properly bagging your garbage, you're not only making it easier for our sanitation workers, but also helping to prevent litter and keep our environment clean. Let's work together to make a difference. For large disposals, contact us for an evaluation.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A soldier from the Belize Defense Force, BDF, was fatally shot during an incident at an observation post on Sunday night, prompting an ongoing investigation into the circumstances surrounding the tragic event. Authorities were alerted to the situation around 9:30 p.m. following a 911 call reporting gunfire in the area. Upon arriving at the observation post, police were directed by the patrol commander, Sergeant Evan Reynolds, to a beige cement building utilized by the BDF team. There, officers discovered the lifeless body of Private Clive Baser, found face down in a pool of blood. According to preliminary investigations, the altercation among patrol team members had begun around 8:30 p.m. Witnesses reported that during this dispute, Private Alfredo Robinson allegedly fired several shots with his issued military .223 rifle at Private Baser, resulting in mortal wounds. In light of the incident, Private Alfredo Robinson is currently under investigation for murder.
Initial information received so far is that the two soldiers were socializing at the BDF outposts in that area when they had an argument between themselves, which resulted in Robinson firing a series of gunshots, fatally hitting Bizer, and another soldier was also hit. That other soldier is currently admitted at the Western Regional Hospital recovering. So that is what we have at this time.
Crime scene technicians recovered 8.223 caliber shell casings and one live round of ammunition at the location. Baser sustained multiple gunshot wounds, including one to the back of his head, exiting above his right eye, and additional injuries to his shoulders and right cheek. A black Samsung cell phone believed to belong to the victim was also found at the scene. But could the shooting have been avoided? While the department has managed to control gang-related murders to a certain extent, there are cases that will be out of the preventative reach of the police, says Campo Williams.
We just need to advise people to try as best as they can to resolve issues utilizing other means as opposed to utilizing fatal injuries, either by way of gunshot or otherwise, it has a lot to do with how you manage yourself at home or within your domestic or social setting, and that will determine how we can reduce the amount of incidents we're seeing. For instance, when you have situations where persons are socializing in a yard, drinking, and then they have an argument and one get killed, how do we tell people not to socialize in their own private yard? We cannot do that. Policing does not allow us to go to that extent of policing people's private home or people's private yards, so it is extremely difficult.
The case is being managed by the Military Investigation Unit as authorities seek to determine the events that led to the devastating loss within the ranks of the Belize Defense Force. In a release issued today, the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security confirmed the tragic shooting. The ministry states that the incident occurred at approximately 9 p.m., resulting in the death of Private Baser and injuries to another. Preliminary reports indicate that both individuals sustained gunshot wounds inflicted by Private Robinson. The injured patrol member sustained 2 gunshot wounds and is currently in a stable condition, receiving treatment at Punta Gorda Hospital. While the Belize Police Department is conducting an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident, the 1st Infantry Battalion has taken steps to ensure the continued security of the Cricksarco Patrol Base. The commander of the Belize Defense Force, along with officers and soldiers, has extended heartfelt condolences to the families of both soldiers involved in this tragic event. Welfare officers have visited the families to provide comfort and support during this difficult time. Orange Walk cops are investigating the death of a man in the village of Oak Creek with fingers pointing at a possible suicide. At approximately 5:45 a.m. on Saturday, police responded to reports of a man found motionless with apparent injuries in the residence of Rosalba Garcia, a 41-year-old Belizean domestic residing in the village. Upon arrival at the 20 by 30 concrete bungalow house, authorities discovered the lifeless body of 40-year-old Nicolas Moran Corrado, a Guatemalan laborer originally from Indian Church Village. Corrado was found lying face up on the floor, dressed only in a black and white striped jersey and short pants, in a pool of blood. A significant cut was visible on the left side of his neck, suggesting a tragic end to his life. Beside his body lay a blue and white chainsaw with blood splattered across the tool and its blade. Initial investigations revealed that around 5:30 a.m., Garcia, who is the cousin of the deceased, was awakened by the sound of a chainsaw emanating from another house within the same yard where Corrado was sleeping. Concerned, she peered through the cracks of a wooden window where she saw Corrado sitting on the floor with the running chainsaw in both hands. In an attempt to prevent a possible disaster, she shouted at him to turn off the chainsaw. However, according to Garcia, Corrado responded with laughter, only to place the chainsaw blade against his neck and inflict the fatal injury. Garcia reported that he fell to the floor and became unresponsive shortly after. Realizing the severity of the situation, she immediately contacted the police for assistance. Corrado's body was subsequently transported to the Northern Regional Hospital morgue, where he now awaits a post-mortem examination to further clarify the circumstances surrounding the incident. A tragic accident near mile 47 on the George Price Highway on Thursday night resulted in the death of Maria Cal. Cal was traveling in a gray pickup truck driven by the time by Manuel Juarez when a Chevy Camaro slammed into the side of the pickup and trapped 50-year-old Cal, a Guatemalan national from Cotton Tree Village. The driver of the car fled the scene, but inside the vehicle, police found a passport and ATM card belonging to 27-year-old Jose Eliberto Mendez of Cotton Tree. Additional documents included a certificate of title for the Camaro. Witnesses told police they saw the driver of the Camaro flee the scene by jumping over a guardrail and into nearby bushes. Tonight, police continue searching for the driver, who will face a number of charges, including manslaughter and failure to render assistance.
I don't think we have found that person as yet, no. He was still being sought by the police.
How could they have evaded if that just bushes and...
Well, the amount of time he had a good lead before the police got there. He perhaps know the area well, and so he was able to escape. We're hoping that we'll be able to find him.
On Saturday, residents of Corozal witnessed the official inauguration of its newly renovated Civic Center. The event was heavily attended by members of government, residents of Corozal Town, and special invited guests. Funded by the Belize Water Service, Thea Garcia Ramirez, and others, the upgraded facility will see more events happening in a conducive environment. Our news team was present to witness the event, and here is a recap of the special celebration.
The heart of Corozal community life in Corozal Town, the Andres Campus Civic Center, has been revitalized thanks to a collaborative effort between the Belize Water Services and the Government of Belize through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Originally constructed as a hub for activities for residents of all ages, the center has been suffering from significant deterioration in recent years. Following an announcement last year of a planned $115,000 renovation, project costs increased to $180,000 to ensure comprehensive updates that would adequately restore this vital community resource. Cornelio Acosta, Executive Director of Belize Water Services, elaborated on the increased funding and the motivations behind the renovation.
Maybe about an year ago, I had met with community leaders and other stakeholders to look at what community investments BWS could do in Corozal. And one of the critical areas that the concern came about was with this Corozal, the Andres Campus Civic Center. It's a facility where it's not only a sporting facility, but it also hosts various community events. And the dire need for urgent repair was highlighted. The bathrooms were in complete disarray. They had a huge electrical problem. There was leakages in the roof. The court itself was starting to crack and break up. Aside from that, the entire aspect of the Civic Center was quite dilapidated. So I had requested a meeting with Minister Ferguson, and we looked at how best we could partner with the government of Belize and the Ministry of Sports to see if we could rehabilitate the Civic Center. He immediately said yes, and from there on we proceeded to gather all the stakeholders in Corozal, and the project started from there on. The total cost of the rehabilitation of the Andres Campus Civic Center is that of about $180,000. There were other needs that were included after the initial assessment, such as showers for athletes. That was included now in the bathroom. We changed the entire tiling system of the bathrooms. Aside from that, there were severe leaks, a lot of leaks in the roof, which required a lot of changes. There were structural damages also, where some of the beams were rotten and that had to be replaced. Right? So all these additional inputs that had to be done increased the cost by a bit. But I think at the end of the day, we're all satisfied and we're happy that we now have a very good structural, sound civic center, which Corozal people can enjoy.
The project received additional sponsorship from Thea Garcia Ramirez, the People's United Party Corozal-based standard bearer, who emphasized the center's importance in fostering recreational and sporting events.
It's a privilege, to sit before you today and have this really renovated Corozal Civic Center. And it's not really just about the reopening of a building. You know, it's a celebration of what we can achieve when we work together towards a shared vision. I'm a huge advocate for community involvement and bringing community together. And just like community work, sports have always been a unifying force, bridging gaps between individuals and fostering a sense of belonging. Facilities like the Civic Center play a critical role in nurturing talent, promoting healthy lifestyles, and fostering community spirit. Whether it's hosting basketball games, volleyball tournaments, or community events, because as the mayor said, the Civic Center for us is more than just a sporting facility. It's a place that has hosted many September celebrations. It has hosted many public dances for Christmas and other events. And I think that at one point even celebrations, birthdays and the like have been celebrated here at the Corozal Civic Center. So it serves as a hub really for positive engagement, for teamwork and personal growth for all residents, especially for the young people in Corozal. We all know the transformative power of sports, that it teaches discipline, builds resilience, and instills values that go far beyond the playing field. And a testament to that is our own mayor, having used all that he learned in sports and channeled that into a very, very successful political career. So, but just as important as the games themselves is the environment in which they take place. This facility behind us at the head table is more than just the cement blocks and the zinc roof. It is a symbol of what our community, our Corozal community, can achieve when we prioritize collaboration and inclusion.
To celebrate the renovation, a special basketball game was held, marking the official reopening of the refurbished facility. As part of the reopening festivities, BWS donated new basketballs to the National Sports Council, further emphasizing their commitment to promoting sports and community development across the region. Elmer Cornejo, Ctv3 News.
Coming up next, Corozal Police Formation recruits new constables. Stay tuned.
Corozal Cable Technician vacancy. Looking to join a growing and innovative company in the telecommunication industry? At Centar, we believe the work you do should be as empowering as the services we provide and deliver to our customers. Therefore, interested applicants from Corozal Town wanting to join our team as a cable technician, Corozal branch, must possess, in addition to a high school diploma, the following qualifications: ability to handle basic installation tools, including a 30-feet ladder, ability to test, troubleshoot, and document test results, ability to install, terminate, and test coax cable and twisted pair cable, must have a valid driver's license and be able to travel, must be willing to work flexible hours, possess excellent customer skills. Understanding basic computer networking will be an asset. Interested applicants must submit a letter of application along with their resume, 2 letters of reference, and a police record no later than Monday, January 27, 2025. To Human Resources Manager, Center Communications Corporation Limited, 61 Queen Victoria Avenue, Orange Walk, Town.
With the aim of bolstering community safety, the Corozal Police Formation recruited 9 new voluntary special constables on Sunday. This diverse group, comprising of 5 males and 4 females, was sworn in after successfully completing a comprehensive 40-hour training program designed to equip them for their new roles. The training, which took place from January 11 to January 19, 2025, covered essential modules including the Constitution of Belize, the roles and functions of the police and special constables, community-oriented policing, evidence provision, beat and patrol procedures, justifiable force and harm, and laws relating to road usage. This program was facilitated by a senior instructor from the National Police Training Academy, along with members of the Corozal Police Formation. Superintendent of Police Elroy Carcamo.
First of all, the Voluntary Special Constable Program is a program which falls under the Police Auxiliary Unit, commanded under the desk of Commander Community Policing. It's a community policing program where we try to engage the community to work closely along with the police to help minimize crime and violence and to enhance the quality of life within the community itself. And so the Voluntary Special Constable Program came on stream where we have community members who are vetted and past the vetting go through a 40-hour training, and this training assists them to become like police officers but not police officers. In a sense, they don't have all the powers that police officers have. While they do have the powers to arrest and charge, they don't have all the other powers, and so they go through this 40 hours training, which we speak to them or have instructors come in and facilitate lessons such as the police constitution, roles and responsibility of the police and special constable. This is because they need to know what is the role of the police in order to work with the police. We speak to them about traffic. We notice that we have a lot of traffic incidents countrywide, and we want to enhance what we are doing when it comes to road incidents within our area, and so we ensure that that topic was touched, how to deal with road traffic accidents and how to address when you find people drinking and driving, when they don't have driver's license, insurance, and so forth. We also look at powers of arrest, method of arrest, how to arrest, right, using through the officers that are trained to do tactical training, they're the ones that assist, and so forth. We also did other trainings when it comes to community-oriented policing, when it comes to beat and patrol, how they patrol together, and so forth. And so because of that, the purpose is to enhance our human resources. As you all know, here in Corozal, we have limited amount of police officers, and the more we can reach out within our neighborhoods will be better. The Voluntary Special Constable Program also serves as that link to bridge the gap between the community and the police. As you know, that it's not everyone that likes to come directly to the police, and so they are that link. So they go out and they do patrols, they get information, they work with us, they see certain things, they tell us, and then we operate on dealing with the situation that is happening.
Superintendent Elroy Carcamo, officer commanding the Corozal Police Formation, also clarified the limitations of the Volunteer Constables Authority.
They do have the powers like police officers, but under our internal policies, we are not allowing them to do certain things like, yes, they can arrest and charge, but for right now, we want them to work closely with the police. Understand, because when you arrest and charge, you need to go in front of the court, the person pleading not guilty, and you need to present your evidence. And then while we did evidence and procedures and report writing, we still need them to go through that training to understand that. We are not putting them at forefront. So it's not the voluntary special constable job to stop and search you. It is a police job, the sworn police officer. If the police officer needs assistance and that police officer tell them, well, you know what, assist me in searching this person, they have all authority to do so because they can do that. But we are not putting them out there at risk then to get hurt or anything. So whilst working along with the police put you at risk, working along trying to make your community safer put you at sort of risk with those people who do not want to see better in their neighborhood, we are saying that there are certain things that we will not allow them to do, or will not push them to do. We will not put them in harm's way then.
With the enhanced human resource, the Corozal Police Department is now better equipped to maintain law and order, says Carcamo.
Well, we need to understand that it's a volunteer work, and they only have to volunteer to the community. I don't say to the police department because they are going to work back in the community. They just need to volunteer 4 hours per week to the community, and if they want to give more, it is up to them. The time that they have, that is what they'll do. Based on our strategic goal and where we see crime happening and where we want more patrols happening, that is where we are going to deploy them. They won't be deployed alone, they will be deployed with uniformed police officers. And so based on that, we will decide how they will be deployed out there. These are not persons that are being paid. Like I said, they are volunteering their time to see a better, to put something positive within the community. And so we cannot force them and put them anywhere, and we cannot put them out there to get hurt or so forth. So that is what they will be doing. They will also assist us in major activities like September celebrations. During the Easter time, we will have a lot of other activities. And we will see as well how we can assist them to get a little stipend now and again when they work some of these activities. There are certain protocols when it comes to that as well. So it's not that they can go there to one of the stores and say, you know what, I have voluntary special constable and I want to work at the store. It doesn't work that way. Everything has to come through the station, through our station manager, and approved by this office. I want to say a special thanks to everyone who made the voluntary special constable program possible, all those who supported the community itself, the media for publicizing it. Together, we can achieve much more than we're achieving alone. So
this initiative aligns with the vision outlined by Commissioner of Police Chester Williams in his New Year's message, which called for a robust volunteer special constable program to assist in maintaining order in key areas. In a pivotal move towards rehabilitating individuals with minor criminal records, the Community Rehabilitation Department has unveiled a new automatic expungement initiative for specific first-time offenses. This development follows recent amendments to the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act, which came into effect on November 29, 2024. The amended legislation notably repeals and replaces Section 30 of the Act, significantly simplifying the process for those aspiring to clear their criminal records. Under the new provisions, individuals with no previous criminal history are now eligible to apply for automatic expungement in two notable circumstances. These include first offenses involving possession of cannabis or cannabis resin, as outlined under Section 7 of the Misuse of Drugs Act, provided the associated sentence consisted of a fine not exceeding $1,000. Additionally, first-time offenders cited for any COVID-19 related infractions can also benefit from this new scheme. Today, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams was asked to comment on the movement.
It is something that the government decided to do. It went through Parliament, it's a law, and it's not about how I feel about it. It's what the law is, and it is there for all to comply with it. If it is that a person feel like they can apply for the expungement of their record, then they are free to do so to the boards that have been established, and once the board grants it, then we have to abide by it.
Department officials have stated that this initiative is designed not only to aid those who qualify in erasing their records, but also to support their reintegration into society, allowing them a chance at a more constructive future. Donald J. Trump was officially sworn in as the 47th President of the United States today at the age of 78. The intimate ceremony took place inside the Capitol Rotunda, marking Trump's return to office as only the second former president in U.S. history to achieve this feat. As he took the oath of office, Trump wasted no time outlining his ambitious agenda for his new administration. All of these changes starting today, he declared passionately, pledging to reverse what he termed the horrible betrayal of his predecessor. During his inaugural address, he unveiled plans for over 100 executive actions to be undertaken within his first day in office. Among Trump's immediate priorities are significant changes to U.S. immigration and energy policies. He announced plans to increase oil production, declare a national emergency at the southern border, seal the U.S.-Mexico border, and initiate mass deportations of undocumented immigrants residing in the country.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. . . 。  . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
With U.S. President Donald Trump preparing for mass deportations, Belize may soon see an influx of its nationals being sent back home. Police Commissioner Chester Williams addressed the anticipated deportations, noting that some individuals on Belize's wanted list could be among those returning.
Let's congratulate President Trump for taking office today. Like what was said this morning on the beef, it's a historic moment for America, and certainly the world is watching, the world is waiting to see what is going to happen. In terms of people who may be sent back to Belize, I will invite Jules to come and work with us, because he have given a number of how many people left the country who are, look at everybody who left Belize and go to the States now according to Jules stats are gang members. So I hope none of you go, because you'll be classified as a gang member, right? But again, we will wait to see who will be coming back. We certainly are looking forward to certain people coming back that are wanted by the police to face charges here in Belize, so we welcome that.
In a move that has drawn significant attention across international media platforms, Elon Musk's Starlink initiative is making strides to expand its satellite internet services into Belize. Launched into orbit as part of Musk's vision to provide high-speed satellite internet access globally, Starlink aims to connect users in areas lacking reliable online services. However, local regulatory challenges remain, as the Public Utilities Commission (PUC) has declined Starlink Belize's request for a class license to operate in the country. Starlink expressed its ambition to provide both fixed and mobile broadband internet throughout the country. However, the PUC assessed that application and opted not to grant the class license, citing considerations such as consumer needs, regulatory obligations, and the potential effects on existing service providers in Belize.
Then we sent out the press release, and the press release pretty much says that PUC limits Starlink's operation in Belize to emergency services and to unserved and underserved areas. So October 2024, when PUC received the application and we reviewed it, SBL's license sought approval in essence in two areas. One, to provide fixed broadband internet services to the public, and two, to provide mobile internet services for aircrafts, vessels, and terrestrial use, right?
Enough, the term limited circumstances still carries a challenging connotation, but Garnett simplifies its meaning for Starlink Belize in layman's terms.
Current telecommunication regulations allow for mobile internet services on board aircrafts and vessels already. So because that is already something that is allowed, it continues. However, it is the end users that we are allowing to import and operate these types of Starlink services. So SBL's application, in essence, is unique because it's looking to provide satellite-based internet services in the country.
Under the current regulations, existing users of Starlink in Belize must register their equipment through the PUC Spectrum Online Center within 60 days. However, despite Starlink Belize being authorized to operate under strict conditions, questions remain regarding employment opportunities for Belizeans within the company.
Starlink Belize LLC is pretty much saying that their operations would be led by SpaceX operations, wherever that office is outside of the country, and all the necessary support and everything that is needed for end users here in the country will be operated by that team remotely. So if you refer to Section 32 of the regulation, it speaks to that directly.
Yet, a lingering concern is whether the internet service will be economically viable for the underserved populations that Starlink intends to serve.
I just want to clarify that we have not granted them what they applied for. We haven't granted them a license. What we have said is that we will allow the importation of their equipment to their end users. So just to clarify that, no, what you are mentioning, as we said, valid points. And we also considered these same things in our decisions. We pointed out that Starlink has remote with their customers. They operate remotely where they have a remote relationship with customers. They didn't intend to have an in-country presence. And then as it relates to pricing, this was also something that we discussed in our decision, that when we had queried about specific prices for Belize, they had sent us pricing for regional pricing as it relates to Trinidad and Tobago, El Salvador, I believe. And we discussed all of this in the decision. But the point that I am making is that we took all of this into consideration as to why we ultimately decided what we decided, that we would allow the importation of their equipment, but not without granting them a class license, just to clarify that.
When it comes to unserved areas, there are always going to be some areas within the country that it will not be economically feasible for any licensee to extend service to. From an engineering standpoint, if let's say that you live behind 4 mountain tops, I could design you a network that I put a tower on the top of each mountain top and I provide you with service. Will I ever recover my monies? Not likely. So that's where we see that the Starlink or Starlink Lite or satellite end users will always be required. Where will competition come in? Yes, we only hear about Starlink today. But once you read our decision, you're going to see that Starlink is not the only player in this market. You have Jeff Bezos with Project Kuiper coming online shortly, and some other players that are also going to play in this field. So similar like today, you could buy a package from your favorite mobile service provider, let's say company B, and then company S comes in and gives you a better offer, you will do a change. So that's where the customers will also have a potential to change. And likewise, if we're serving presently and allowing for the service to be where there is the intent of any of our ISPs that have the ability to grow their networks and they provide coverage in that area, then it's really be left to the market forces, to the customer to decide, am I getting a better deal from Starlink still, or getting a better deal from the local ISP?
Starlink Belize was incorporated on August 12, 2024 and is managed by Juan David Velez, a Belize City resident. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Kickstart the new year right with the best tech deals countrywide. Whether you want to accomplish personal goals, business goals, or just a healthy lifestyle, Cellular World has the tech that suits your needs. like budget phones starting at $69, Android starter phones starting at $209, tablets starting at $159, or smart TVs starting at just $359. Even better, make your fitness journey a never-ending vibe with a wide selection of JBL products, fully backed up with a 1-year warranty, starting at only $99. But that's not all. You can also get yourself a Samsung Galaxy phone, tablets, buds, or smartwatch with a 1-year local warranty included. Visit any of our stores today in Belize City, Belmopan, Orange Walk, or San Pedro to start shopping, or shop via our virtual store through Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp at 615-5141. Don't miss out.
Tonight, Corozal is celebrating one of their own after the chairman of the Belize Tourism Industry Association, Corozal chapter, Efren Perez, was elected to serve as the national president of the organization. Perez will serve as president from 2025 to 2027, taking over from former President Stuart Crone, who held the position for the past 4 years. Perez has an extensive experience in the tourism field. This morning, he joined us on the Despierta Belize Morning Show and spoke about his election.
Yes, so on Friday, Cami, we celebrated our 39th annual general meeting in Belize City. And at this year's event, there were 3 positions that came for voting. One of the positions was the position of secretary, the other one was of the second vice president, and the third was the president, which was held by Mr. Stuart Crone. Mr. Crone held that position for over 4 years now. And one of the most important things I would think we have to highlight from him.
Perez also touched on the pressing issues the organization faces as Belize remains steadfast in offering the best tourism experience for visitors globally.
If we look at the infrastructural development that has occurred within southern Quintana Roo in the past couple of years, pretty much we have the introduction of the new international airport in Tulum. We have the Tren Maya that's running all the way from Cancun, from Merida to Chetumal now, and vice versa. There is talks by the government and also extending that route from Chetumal to at least the border.
Business owners linked to the tourism world are able to register with the BTIA, which can result in huge benefits. Paris explains how you can become a member.
BTIA is a membership organization, and so I would encourage people from both Orange Walk, Corozal, and across the country for them to be able, once you are within the tourism industry itself, or you feel that you can contribute to the tourism industry, I would invite you to go ahead and register as a member.
Minister of State for Foreign Trade, Dr. Osmond Martinez, has assumed the chair of CARIFORUM for the period January to June 2025. This prestigious role underscores Belize's commitment to regional integration and leadership within the Caribbean Forum. In preparation for this significant responsibility, Belize hosted a CARIFORUM delegation from January 14 to the 17, 2025. The delegation, led by Director General Mrs. Alexis Downs Armstrong, with support from Ivanit Baron, George, and Mr. Rovin Gansam, met with Belizean officials on critical CARIFORUM matters to ensure a seamless transition and effective leadership during Belize's tenure. The mission included comprehensive briefings with officials at the ministerial, executive, and technical levels in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Discussions focus on key areas such as policy dialogue, EPA institutional frameworks, development cooperation initiatives, and trading relationships. Economic partnership agreements meetings, including the Trade and Development Committee and the Joint Council. Pending matters to be addressed as part of the regional work program and the importance of strategically identifying and concluding key issues were also discussed. The mission concluded with Belize as chair of the CARIFORUM consultation on EPA preference utilization an essential initiative to enhance the benefits of the EPA for member states. The mission reflects CARIFORUM's dedication to fostering coordination and collaboration among its members. Belize's chairmanship marks a pivotal opportunity to advance CARIFORUM's objectives, strengthen regional cooperation, and drive impactful outcomes for member states. The government of Belize has secured $5 million in funding support for over 5 years as part of the Blue and Green Islands BGI Global Environment Facility GEF 8 integrated program. The Brazilian Bold Belize RBB Child Project aims to secure the long-term conservation and resilience of Belize's marine and coastal ecosystems, promoting nature-based livelihoods and the well-being of Belizeans. The GEF-endorsed project will focus on Belize's blue ocean space and is designed to initiate Belize's project finance for a permanent PFP initiative. The PFP is a significant private-public partnership led by the Blue Bond and Finance Permanence Unit within the Office of the Prime Minister in partnership with the Worldwide Fund. The Blue Bond and Finance Permanence Unit is the executing agency for this GEF project. The Coast to Ocean project scope spans across Belize's connected marine and coastal ecosystems, including mangroves, seagrass, and reefs, to deliver on the BGI integrated program objectives through improved management and increased financial sustainability of 14 coastal protected areas and 21 marine protected areas, spaces that are globally recognized as biodiversity hotspots, vital for supporting local fishing and tourism industries and for protecting coastal communities from storms. After the proposed 5-year GEF RBB project is closed, the science-driven PFP will continue implementation for an additional 6 years with the objective of securing the financing strategies in place for long-term conservation in an effective, efficient, and well-managed system that contributes to the sustainable development of the country and the well-being of its people. The Blue Bond and Finance Permanence Unit has disclosed the project safeguard documents prior to the start of project implementation in 2025. These safeguard documents include the Stakeholder Engagement Plan and the Environmental and Social Management Framework, which have been displayed inadvertently on publicly accessible websites, currently including the Government of Belize Press Office website and the Belize Fisheries Department website. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, January 21st, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.